The NFL on CBS, it's Week 13, an interconference battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings.
And now 72% of the plays, Steve McNair is throwing the football, and much of it can be said that the wide receivers on the outside, Derek Mason and Kevin Dyson, have really helped in the passing game.
2nd and 13 after that holding call on first down. George made up some of the yardage. McNair nearly spun down, avoids trouble, throwing on the run to the sideline, and caught. Frank Wycheck, who has been the safety valve. Line of scrimmage is now the Minnesota 43. Opening drive between the Titans and the Vikings. McNair, good protection. Fires to the sideline and brought in by Dyson. McNair had locked in on Hicks out across the middle. On a 2nd and 4. Handoff, Eddie George back in there. Got a hole. Hurdling remaining on his feet. And he's in. Touchdown, Titans.
And did he ever pick his feet up on that play? He hurt a would-be tackler to take it in. Eddie George is just energized here today.
Had a touchdown on the ground last. And the backs and receivers. That's the one thing about this Minnesota team, Solomon. At 4-7, you look at the record and say, how could it possibly happen? They still can light up a scoreboard with those skill position players.
It's their inability to run the football that really has hurt the offense.
On 3rd and 7, Bauman on a scramble. Kevin Carter chasing him, throwing on the run, and throws it out of bounds in the vicinity of Randy Moss. Now a 3rd and 7, crowd trying to get involved early. Shotgun, McNair. Protection is there. McNair steps up. McNair, little shake and bake move. McNair throwing on the run. To the sideline, wide open, Drew Bennett. Into Minnesota territory, and Steve McNair has quieted this crowd. He took a shot from Talent Sawyer. On a 3rd and 3, under 4 minutes to play in the first. McNair, rush is coming. McNair, quick throw on the slant to Bennett. And a first down for Tennessee. Every time they've needed a play on 3rd down, Steve McNair has made it to Eddie George. On a 3rd and 13, under 2 minutes to play now in the first. McNair, deep drop. McNair trying to avoid the rush. As he was falling down, he got it to Dyson. Not nearly enough for a first down, but it'll be a 37-yard attempt for Joe Nedney. He is 15 of 22 on field goals this year. Nedney bangs it through, and Tennessee has extended the lead 10-0
for the deep ball.
And what did Jeff Fisher talk about going into coverage on Moss? Watch the quarterback's shoulders. Here's Moss with a spin move and a first down into Tennessee territory, out across the 45. He picked up 12.
And that play there, and that's what they're really trying to guard against. They don't want to give up the big play.
4 receivers on a handoff. There's a hole from Michael Bennett, and he's a speedster. Bennett inside the 30.
Hitter when he's in open space.
They're talking about Olympic sprinter speed.
That's right.
Drop by Bauman. A sidearm toss to the sideline. Caught by Jake Reed, the 3rd receiver in this alignment. 2nd and goal. He is their short yardage running back with 7:45 and counting left first half. Bauman straight back. Bauman fires to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Byron Chamberlain. Excellent grab by the tight end Chamberlain.
It was a good grab, but you really have to give so much of the credit to Bauman.
He's got some writing ability.
Yeah.
3rd and 2 for Tennessee on a pitch. Eddie George has a hole. Eddie George, long strides into Minnesota territory and out of bounds at the 41. Brad Hopkins on that left side continues.
3rd down with the scrambling ability of Steve McNair.
On a 3rd and 9. Crowd is into it. McNair under pressure and sacked. Back at midfield. Lance Johnstone has bounced back in the 2nd quarter. And they have it with a 1st and 10 at their own 25. Bauman getting the start for Culpepper. Slingshot over the middle to Chris Walsh.
So they've continued to play musical chairs up front in the offensive line, and they really lack the cohesion up front.
3rd and 8. Little floater up top. Great catch by Moss. Oh, boy. Into Tennessee territory. Willie Mays style.
They're going to keep a defender underneath, and you can see Dyson's going to play underneath. The safety's coming over the top, but this ball drops right in the bed, right in the basket. This is a wonderful throw and a really fine catch by Randy Moss.
Wow.
There's not much.
And a loss of 2. Will this drive stall out? Here's Bauman on a 3rd and 12. Steps up. Bauman looking to run. Bauman has the room. First down for Bauman across the 30-yard line. He's not Dante Culpepper, but the athletic ability is there in a 17-yard scramble.
Moss, and then to Michael Bennett. He's getting the ball to different players and keeping his defense off balance.
10th play of the drive. Pump fake. Bauman looking for it all to the end zone. Second effort by Jake Reed. Did he get it? Yes! Touchdown, Vikings!
That ball appeared to be tipped.
It was by Michael Booker.
Yeah, Booker was there. Just couldn't get a solid hand on it. Well, what touch. Look at the pump fake. This is poised by a young quarterback. It's getting the ball up over the hands of Michael Booker. And look at the grab by Reed. 91 when I was with the Vikings.
End of the first half. 14-10, Vikings leading the Titans. Jim Nantz in New York. The Nextel halftime report is coming up after these messages. And a word from your local station.
The two teams, but you know what? Neither team has turned over the football. That's why you have a really good football game going on.
Set up a 4-receiver set. Slingshot delivery by Bauman to Byron Chamberlain. Signed as a free agent in 1997 as the 3rd QB. Finally got a shot as the backup this year. Bauman, quick slant. Randy Moss in the open field where he is just so dangerous. And it's a 16-yard pass play. This Minnesota offense.
I think he made an excellent adjustment that time.
4-receiver set, draw play. Michael Bennett has a hole. Look at the speed of Bennett. Cutting it to the outside, and he's gone. Touchdown, Vikings. Third catch of the day for Dyson. Mason has 3 as well. This is a 1st and 10 for Tennessee. Eddie George loses the football. George coughs it up, and Minnesota's got it. Lemansky Hall. Howard, the rookie defensive tackle out of Stanford, has been carted off the field. That right leg apparently injured, and Minnesota takes over with Bauman stepping up in the pocket. Bauman throwing over the middle. All kinds of room for Doug Chapman. Chapman cutting it. Looks for the angle, and he's there. Touchdown, Vikings. First touchdown of the year for Chapman. This Tennessee organization going all the way back to the Houston days. And now in his 2nd year as a member of this Minnesota defense. Throwing. McNair, wide open Wycheck. Frank Wycheck with a big gainer. Out across the 35 and out of bounds. On a 2nd and 6, George in the backfield. Play fake. McNair under a rush and spun down by Kylie Wong. His 2nd sack of the season. And a sack to follow it up. Chris Coleman has checked in as a receiver. Out of the shotgun, McNair stepping up. McNair under heat and devoured. Fred Robbins.
See how much they rely on using that passing game to try to eat time up off the clock.
Here's Bennett, gaping hole. And Bennett shoves forward. That's a 1st down for Minnesota. We're both in the huddle, but Minnesota took a timeout. And Bauman throwing. Randy Moss. Excellent grab by Moss. Into Tennessee territory.
1 reception so far today, and certainly been a shift here because the lion's share of the balls are going to Randy Moss, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens, not just as the season goes on, but even going into next season regarding Chris Carter.
On a 2nd and 3, throwing the home run ball, and it's incomplete.
Moss has been thrown at 12 times. Only 1 ball has gone to Chris Carter. That one he caught, and 6 receptions. So you throw it twice as many times, or in this case, 11 more balls going towards Randy Moss. But I talked to Chris Carter. He said, you know what? I still like playing the game of football. He has a lot to offer.
On a 3rd and 3, Bauman, incomplete.
Who knows? Maybe Chris Carter is able to contribute to another organization as well, should he decide to come back for another year.
Titans take over. McNair throwing on 1st down and a sideline toss. Mason was able to shake off whatever injury that was earlier.
They're in a tough division. No one thought that NFC West Division would be as competitive as it is this year.
I'm going to go with the New York Giants on that one, considering their divisional games. And first quarter dominated by the Titans. Since then, all Vikings. Play action. McNair under a rush. McNair out of the pocket and throwing to Kevin Dyson. Twirled down inside the 30. And now the Tennessee Titans trailing 28-10. George in the backfield. McNair to throw it. McNair guns it. Corner of the end zone. Caught by Mason. Touchdown, Titans. Derek Mason. The timing pattern right in the corner.
Yeah, and this is just an excellent throw by McNair to Mason, who stems inside, breaks to the corner. And watch the time. He gets his hands up and feet down in the corner of the end zone.
Now Lucina has come back onto the field. Back at his normal spot at left guard. On first down. Handoff. Bennett bouncing it with a cut upfield. Bauman checking off at the line of scrimmage. Play clock winding down. Here's Bauman. The protection is there again. Wide open. Chris Carter. First down. He takes a hit at the 49.
Better job of showing leadership. No taunting down on the football field. Make a play.
Second catch of the day for Carter. Stop and go. The acceleration of Michael Bennett.
This Tennessee defense is in jeopardy today.
It's over. 103 yards. Bennett has cracked that 100-yard plateau. Handoff, Doug Chapman. Doesn't matter if it's Bennett or Chapman right now. They're running through this Tennessee defense. Chapman remains in the backfield. Bauman wants to pass it. Guns it over the middle. Catch is made by Carter. Flips it. Oh my goodness. Byron Chamberlain. Chris Carter takes a chance, but had the awareness to know that Chamberlain was trailing on the play.
He's a poised veteran. He knows what he's doing out there. Chris Carter.
First and goal from the 10, and a beautifully thrown ball by Bauman to start it off. Handoff. Bennett exploding to the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings.
The Tennessee Titans have talked about needing to win out to get into the playoffs, and with that,
check your local listings, and for more, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Here's McNair forced to keep it himself, and he loses the football. If Minnesota got it, that will seal it. Patrick Chikura knocked it loose.
Apply the immediate pressure.
Peeling off players.
Yeah, he was chasing McNair out of the pocket, and he stayed with it. When McNair made his second cut, he came in and knocked the ball loose. It's just excellent effort by number 50, the linebacker, Patrick Chikura. As we sit here and look at them, so they support him, they support the team, but they certainly want better attitude and more mature behavior from the players.
On 3rd and 10 from the 15, throwing, picked off. Bauman makes a mistake. Andre Dyson will take a knee. And a touchback. So Tennessee not done just yet.
They needed a win today. A loss here all but ensures that they would not make the playoffs.
On 3rd and 10, McNair throwing. Bennett with the catch. And out of bounds, it's enough for a first down. On a 2nd and 10, under 5 minutes to go now. Minnesota leading Tennessee 35-17. McNair under some pressure, throws it underneath, and Derek Mason able to haul it in.
Other than controlling your own destiny, and that's the situation I think the Vikings find themselves in.
Their last win, that Monday night game against the Giants. Lance Johnstone, second time that he's been able to fire in today, and the 4th team sack for Minnesota.
Only 17 points given up to Tennessee, so they're holding up true to form.
On 4th down, a 4th and 14, McNair throwing over the middle. Bennett's got a first down, and then some. Drew Bennett angles out of bounds, and a flag on a late hit.
We've seen a number of strange things happen so far this season, so you don't want to totally count out the Titans right now.
First and goal from the 9. McNair out of the pocket, rolling. Back to the other way and throwing to the end zone. Frank Wycheck with a touchdown for Tennessee. And they're going to try to make this one interesting before it's through. 2:57 to go in the 4th.
Vision of the field and able to get the ball to the receivers in very tight positions.
And was not a one-week wonder, which we have seen in this league before. Randy Moss, catch and go. Moss accelerating. He'll take it the distance. Randy Moss. Touchdown. 73 yards.
I think I saw sparks coming off the back of his shoes because, let me tell you, he was shot out like a rocket. Made one guy miss, and you could have put the stopwatch on him from there.
Todd Bauman stepping in for the injured Dante Culpepper. And the Vikings defeat the Titans 42-24 in this interconference matchup. Jeff Fisher told us in a strange way he would have rather have faced a banged-up Culpepper than an unknown entity in Bauman.